Welcome back to the third hour of the Matt Murphy Show. I mean, I'm Cameron Smith. I'm not Matt Murphy. Matt is, he's doing his interpretive dance classes right now.
I thought you said he was kicking puppies.
No, kittens in Louisiana. It's one of the few states where it's legal to punt cats. But
What?
I don't.
That's legal?
What?
Is that like a Mardi Gras thing?
Hashtag big if true. Okay? Like, I've been in and around politics enough lately that I know that if you just say big if true, you can say whatever you want. Right? Isn't that how that works?
Big if true.
Right. Big if true. That's what you do. Dave said, hey, I'm sorry. I was just feeling a little surly in traffic on the Super Talk text line, 615-737-9986. I feel you, man. I mean, from the report we're getting about traffic, it sounds particularly awful. Meanwhile, I'm in here being slowly cooked / dehydrated by various machines. So while you're in your car, enjoy it. I'll tell you what, there's been some pretty good weather. Like, nice days outside. When I get home with the boys, run around, we're in the window where the cutting that we planted in my yard for my great-grandmother's fig tree is starting to get, like, the figs are just right about there. The other figs have already come in. We already eaten all those. But hers, because it came from Georgia, it needs a little bit longer of a growing season, and we're in the race against the clock. Before the fall really hits, will we get some of those figs? So, that's the exciting thing at my house. Okay. We've been, talking about a number of topics. Several of y'all had thoughts about Mike. Guys, Mike's a listener too. He's just coming on, giving his perspectives. We've talked shutdown. We've talked 7th Congressional District race. We're going, don't worry, guys. We're going to do Nincompoops in the news. So those of you who hate it can let me know that. And those of you who love it can also let me know that. Phil said 24 eastbound mile marker 83. There's a crash, stop and go, backing up fast. So you may want to just get out and walk. Probably recommend against that, but it's up to you.
Yeah, it's a nice day outside.
Yeah. I mean, leave your car. I also wanted to say, based on the Mason Foley story, if you're having a barbecue and have ribs, and you would like me or several of the other callers from the Super Talk text line to come to your house and eat your food, we will do that too. So just let me know. I actually have been thinking a lot about this lately, that doing stuff together, whether it's going out for the Friday night football game or just hanging around and eating stuff, that's really important. Like, if we want to make America great again, we want to change the trajectory we're on. It's less being outraged on social media and more of, hey, let's hang out and get to know each other. That's actually, I'm seeing more and more of that. I've had readers of my columns over at the Tennessean. Please continue to check those out. Who've said, hey, I like this. Can we talk? And I'm like, sure. If you want to grab a group of folks, here's where I'll be. I mean, typically, I kind of run the same routes week to week, but I love trying to find time to hang out with you guys and talk through these things. And I think it's way more fun to do it in person. I mean, it can be early in the morning over a cup of coffee. It can be, later. But I think it's important to get together. And I like you guys. It's been a lot of fun over the years to get to know you guys, as a fill-in guy, a guy that does podcasts, All the Best Words. You got to check that out. We're doing some more fun stuff, shorter form stuff too, because we think it's important. 5513 says 86 degrees is not nice outside. Do you know how hot it gets here? I mean,
I'm with him. I prefer highs in the 70s, but we take what we can get.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're moving that way by degrees, literally. Like we have to take what we can get, and I will take, mid 80s all day over the August heat where it's like I don't like anything right now. It's so hot, it hurts my feelings. So I like it. I just like pretty days. I mean, this time of year is one of my favorites. I kind of like this one like spring. Both of those work really well with me. I'm a big fan. 8631 says Lebanon Pike from downtown is moving. I love it. Traffic reports from the texters. Lebanon Pike from downtown is moving, but slow. One of the things that I wanted to run by you guys, and again, while you're stuck in traffic, if you want to call in and chat, 615-737-9986, or you can text in. 5513 says, I'm just obese. You know, that can happen. It can be rough to be obese and deal with the heat and humidity. That's not fun. I have the body type of a lowland mountain gorilla without the fur, and so I feel you there. I agree. God intended us to fellowship. Yeah, I think this is okay. So how many of you guys remember like Wednesday night potlucks at church? Like that to me from my childhood was one of the biggest things that we did. I remember at the time, where did we go? It was Christ Community. I can't remember the church exactly. My memory is starting to go as I get older and try to parent. But they had like this fellowship hall kind of under the sanctuary and in this older church, and everybody would bring food and we would hang out and eat the food. And that was one of the more awesome things from my childhood. And then, you know, break out and do your Wednesday night stuff. But like the whole point was like we broke bread together. That was, as a kid, I knew. Tony says potlucks were the best time of my life. Amen. We can do that. Yes. You guys know where to find me. You can find my email. Meet folks for lunch in Chapel Hill. Typically, I mean, most days and during the work week, I'm in Franklin. I'm down here some days, but generally speaking, just tell me and we'll work it out. We'll figure out something because I think we got to do more of this stuff. Tony's point was like when Christians eat together, you kind of see, like, I might not listen to my dad. My dad would tell you I definitely didn't listen to my dad. But the other men at the church, this happens. As a father, I can tell you this. Other people will listen, like kids will listen to other parents. They a lot of times don't listen to their parents. So at church, like I got to know those people. I got to see adults interact. I got to see how you behave. I got to see the difference between the way the adults interacted with each other, the way the kids interacted. And I think 1586 says do that kind of potluck stuff with neighbors too. I think that's a great idea. I got a clubhouse in my neighborhood where people can hang out and say, hey, anybody want to just bring food and eat it there? And I just need to just do that because I feel like if I can't make it all the things, then I won't start. And I got to get over that. I just got to say, okay, I'm going to bring some stuff. You should bring some stuff and we can hang out. And that's how humans used to do lots of this stuff. And I think, and this kind of will dovetail with some of the other stuff I'm, going to bring up, but a lot of y'all know that we're a foster family, and our big thing is families who shows up, right? If you're at my table, I will feed you. And so what I need to make sure is that the door's open. You know what? Like that's the hard part. To say, hey, I want you here at my table. I want you to fellowship, to spend time with you. Because most of us are like, I don't know, people are kind of weird right now. Are you sure that this is a good idea? I mean, I've seen what happens on the interwebs. And if reality is anything like that, I'm not sure I want to spend much time with people. And, for those of y'all who want my email, you can go look at my columns over the Tennessean. Usually the contact information's there, and you can find me that way. That's the easiest way. Or at D Cameron Smith on X. And, like I said, I can't meet up with everybody, but particularly if folks are trying to get together, that's what I want to do. I want to get those groups together, hang out, get to know you, because I think that's really important. And my time has freed up a little bit on Saturdays because I don't have youth sports anymore. It's all during the week. So it's a wild, wild time. But I think this is where churches have a real opportunity. Get away from the skinny jeans and fog machines. Get into the things that used to make church a big part of our community. It wasn't shuffle you in on a Sunday, get through all the stuff, and shuffle you out. It's, well, this is kind of where we spend time together. This is a convening space. And I think it is a big deal to bring that back. And so I'm here for it. We got to figure this out, as my schedule will permit, and my lovely wife will, heck, I'll drag them with me. There's like 7 of us, but like we're wild. 2774 says no cell phones at my table. I think that's a great rule. I think it's, and we say no devices, no games, but same deal. The other big one that I think is real important, and some of y'all have thought about this, some of you probably haven't, is don't put your cell phone on the table between you and another person. Just don't do it. Because what you're telling folks is like, this is between you and I. You're sending that signal. And so even more than that, like, we're just not doing it at the table at all. The phone doesn't sit on the table. It goes, and I know that sounds like a little thing, but we are so attached to our phones, so attached to our devices. The idea of human interaction is, we're losing it, folks. And I just remember some of the strawberry salads that I wasn't sure about, but dadgum, they were good. Some of the fried chicken, we would always know to get there early, and the women and children got first, and then the dudes got what was left. And man, when I was in that zone where I got to be early in the line, and I knew exactly which women at the church could cook and which dudes could grill, and I would get after it. I'm like, okay, I see it. I see it down the line. I know where I'm going. And those memories, the smells, the taste, the fellowship are just seared into my brain in a very, very positive way. And I don't know. I see the stories that you guys over there have, and I think that bringing that community hub model back to the church can bring life to that theology. And, Jesus set a great example in that, and going to rooms and places that a lot of other people wouldn't go. And I think that's something we should do. Right now, we need to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation on the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7. Oh, that's groovy. Well, man, y'all came out of the woodwork on the Super Talk text line, 615-737-9986. Just talking about potluck. Man, that brought back some strong memories for a lot of you guys. And I think it is really important that we stop, when we're going to do Nincompoops. I already told you that. But in the final hour, I'd like to point out, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but I think AI is killing doom scrolling. All this random slop that is now all over the internet, like it is reminding me on how much we need reality. I mean, this stuff is getting so weird. And, I like to tell myself I have to do more social media than I do because of the job that I have and the work that I do, the writing, this kind of stuff. But the truth is, a lot of it's just freaking weird. It's just strange. It's bizarre. And yet I find myself, I'm trying to do better. It was actually Charlie Kirk that mentioned the idea of a phone Sabbath, like a tech Sabbath on the weekend, where I think it was one evening from sundown until the next day at sunup, no technology. Like, I'm not going to use my phone. I'm going to put it down. And I think I've been trying, actually almost left my phone this morning because I've been trying to put it down, put it on its charger, stay away from it. Like when I'm at home with my boys and my wife, not fiddling with it because it kills community. It absolutely, you don't even look up with the people that you're around, let alone your neighbors. So just throwing that out there for your consideration. it's something that I think we need to do. And Jim says it's fun to bring your best food to the church. You know what? If you're not competing over your ability to cook, I'm not sure that you really are that good of a cook. I mean, every cook I know, they want to bring their best. And so when it was potluck, man, we weren't just, cashing it in and saying, random stuff. It was, this is the best. This is smoked ribs. This is, fish I caught, this week. Like it was pretty top flight stuff. And so I respect that. And, I come from a long line of dude cooks that, my grandfather, my dad, like my brother, like all of us love to cook. And so having opportunities to do that kind of stuff, now I got to feed 5 boys, which is like feeding like 37 adults every night for dinner. And, my wife shoulders the burden of that. But like we love that kind of stuff. And so the rule of potluck is you got to bring enough to cover your people, and then we kind of share. Like if you show up with like a little box of snacks and bring 10 people, the thing doesn't work. So like that's one of the rules that you gotta follow if we're gonna make it to work. Other than that, I mean, I don't think there are that many other rules. I think that as much as I want you guys to go over and read my stuff at the Tennessean, as much as I want you to listen to this radio show and the excellent host who love you dearly, I also want you to go out in the real world and interact with people and do stuff, and particularly get your kids to do it. What I did not realize was such a thing until my boys became teenagers was the amount of distraction that they have. When I was a teenage boy, the most interesting thing on the planet were girls. Like, I'll just say it like it is. And that to me was the most exciting thing in town was whatever the girls were doing, wherever they were. I would literally go to church because the girls were there. Now, man, they got YouTube, they got video games, they've got sports, there's everything. And that's the one thing I was not prepared for fathering in the modern era is, guys, like, wait a minute. Like the rules seem to have changed here. You are just very distracted about all the things. No wonder we're having population collapse issues. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will do Nincompoops in the news, and we'll rock this show on out. This is the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7. Well, now we're rocking out. Okay, Jackson, before we get to Nincompoops in the news, Max has been waiting forever, and so I want to get to him real quick, if that works. All right. Max, what's going on?
Cameron? Oh, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great.
I enjoy when you sit in, and I enjoy your comments and your perspective. Wanted to let you know that I am a former juvenile court, general sessions court judge. I was a former member of the executive committee of the Tennessee Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges, chairman of the legislative committee, and worked extensively with the Department of Children's Services, and I commend you for your efforts and what you do as a foster parent. I probably have a unique appreciation for what that is. I did an effort to recruit foster families when I was on the bench, primarily through one of our major churches in our county, and we recruited 31 foster families in one push. I know that the Department of Children's Services folks have some excellent caseworkers. They also have some that are not so much. And
that's also true.
Just wanted to call and say that if there's anything that I can do to assist you in improving that effort in our state going forward with whoever the next governor turns out to be, I wanted you to know that I'm probably uniquely familiar with that entire effort. The DCS, I used to know all the commissioners and was friends with many of them, and I'd like to give you my contact information, perhaps off the air, so that if I can be of assistance, I wanted to do that.
Sure. And if you can send in a text, or Jackson can get your contact information. That would be great, because I need all the help I can get. I had a great conversation with Senator Blackburn about DCS reforms, and one of the things that she asked directly, which I thought was really wise, was, hey, who are the people that we need to have in the room to have the conversation about how we get this headed in a better direction? And
I can give you some more stories and some success stories and some other things, and as I say, maybe I'm more uniquely postured to have some insight.
Sure. Well,
I'm all with you about trying to improve that process.
All right. Well, I'll have Jackson get your information, and I really appreciate the call. I think the big issue, to put a button on that one, community is really important, but how you take care of the least of these is even more important. And some of the young men that have made their way through my home have been through no fault of their own, some really awful circumstances. And if we look at these kids, and they're, call it 8,000 kids at any given time in the system in Tennessee, and if we say, hey, be happy and well-fed, good luck, we need to sort of look at our conviction and see whether we really mean it. And I'll tell you, there's some churches doing amazing stuff right now in this space. Church of the City has been excellent. It's they just opened a campus at Nolensville High School that my family now attends. But we had been part of the Church of the City foster care ministry for years, even though we didn't go to church there, because they were that dedicated to surrounding families, foster families, and helping them do what they do, and saying, hey, we know what you're doing is hard. That's the first thing I tell anybody about fostering, is it's really tough, and it's not for everybody. But those people that have been called to do that, they need all the help they can get. They need a community around them that says, hey, we got your back. And it means the world to me to have those type of people in our lives. Speaking of having people's backs, I am prepared with Florida Man Jackson. So, I mean, it's that time, Well, there's a lot of nincompoopery, and I mean, wow, I've got one. Since I never know who wins because I'm in and out, I'm just going to go first. I think that works.
That seems like a dictatorship.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's fair. I'm not going to argue with you.
Is this what happens in a government shutdown, Ken?
I've been told that I am OMB and you have to do what I want. So it's fine.
What's OMB?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's government stuff, science. Everything's cool. So I will go, and then that will give you guys any time you need to find better options than this one, which I always go with Florida Man. That is the rule for me.
That's a good bet.
It's always awesome.
Yeah.
I also like the headlines that say what we know, which is like we're gathering the facts about this. Polk City, Florida. Nowhere is safe from being burglarized. Not even the Polk County Sheriff's substation. Someone broke into the Polk City Sheriff's Station. What did they take? You're not going to believe this. They took my picture. Judd, the sheriff's office identified the suspect as Mark Byram, 34, Polk City. Sheriff said Byram can be seen on surveillance video approaching the building, walking in through the front door. Around 3 minutes later, he's seen walking out with something in his hands. He stole my picture, Judd said. Judd's picture was stolen right off the lobby wall, along with the major's and captain's pictures, too. When Byram was found in jail on another theft charge, the sheriff explained his reasoning. We went down there, and he said, my brain was a little foggy that night. I was using a little drugs. But I think I stole those pictures, wrapped them in a towel, and put them by a tree. And sure enough, he did.
This is the sheriff?
Yes, it is the sheriff. And he said the pictures are no worse for the wear, and he is in jail with some more charges.
Wow.
So the sheriff and his command staff are back up on the wall where they belong, greeting everyone as they walk in. But, man, it is a rough day in Florida when you just go into the sheriff's office, steal their pictures, and then just kind of have a foggy memory of doing it.
Yeah.
You wake up curled up next to it. What did I do last night?
Yeah, this guy, you can see the still shot of the video is of him, and it appears he's in sweatpants with one leg up, one leg down, and no shirt on. So everything checks out. Little bit of drugs. Just a little bit of drugs goes
Just
a long
a
way.
smidge.
Yep.
A pinch.
Yep, that's what I got. Okay, Jackson.
Oh, my turn?
Your turn, Brother Jackson.
All right. We're going to Nebraska. A naked man arrested outside of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Business after jumping onto multiple vehicles. A naked man was arrested outside the College of Business Monday morning after jumping onto multiple vehicles. A video of the incident shows the naked man jumping onto the cars outside of the College of Business near 14th and Vine Streets. The man yelled, "Jesus, Jesus," at a car full of women, and "Will you be my wife?" According to a bystander. According to bystanders, following, he started pounding on the car's windows and sitting on the car. McCown saw the man jumping onto a white SUV and a red university pickup truck, as well as banging onto car windows. A video of the man shows the man surrendering to police officers in the middle of the street.
Will you be my wife? That's not a great proposal.
It's not really there are some bad first lines out there. I think this one might take the cake.
I was in Nebraska.
Yeah, it's all cornfields up there. They're
Interesting.
probably the most exciting thing that's happened there in years.
That is very exciting.
God knows it's not the football team.
All right. Is that it, Brother Jackson?
That's all I got, Brother Weaver.
All right, boys. I'm going to take you to Rhea County, Tennessee, where deputies arrested a suspended coach at the high school's home game Friday and charged him with public drunkenness and trespassing.
How bad was the football team, Ken?
Well, you know what? They didn't even get to that, so it must be pretty bad. The arrest of John Lovingood at Eagle Field came after school officials told police about a man who was reportedly intoxicated and causing a disturbance on the other side of the stadium. An arrest report says they had received complaints of a male subject being very loud and disruptive, walking back and forth behind the band members in the visitor section. Both school officials investigated. They learned that the man causing the disruption was John Lovingood, who was a coach at Rhea County High, as well as a world history teacher.
Wow.
Apparently, he had been explicitly instructed not to be on school property because he had been suspended earlier in the day.
What'd he do?
It does not say.
He might have been drunk.
Yeah, my guess was he was drunk.
That's a good bet. So he was led off the field, given a sobriety test, apparently in one of the locker rooms.
That's good.
And admitted to drinking he admitted to, quote, consuming an alcoholic beverage about 3 hours later, but also consuming a prescription drug called Suboxone, which is typically prescribed to address opioid withdrawal symptoms. So the test was finished. Lovingood was arrested and charged with public intoxication and criminal trespassing. He was taken to the Rhea County Jail, where the jail's website indicates he was able to make bond. But they did not disclose what he was suspended for, but it's a good bet it might have involved some sort of chemical.
Well, at least he didn't steal the pictures of the principal in the process.
Well, and it was the visiting band. It wasn't the home band.
I just don't know what possesses people to, like,
I don't either.
wow.
But the scene in, what is the name of the movie now? Gene Hackman and Dennis Hopper, the basketball movie.
Oh, Hoosiers.
Yeah, Hoosiers, where Dennis Hopper, comes onto the court in the middle of the game and to contest a call, and he's obviously drunk, embarrassing his son. That's what that brings to mind for me.
Isn't this the beginning of the Mighty Ducks movie, too?
Yeah. I mean, Gordon Bombay He's my guy. I'm a big Emilio Estevez fan for that Mighty Ducks movie.
I should have looked up to see who won that game.
Well, if you're that drunk at a game, you should not be. Okay, we're done. How you vote? What's going on?
Jackson had the naked guy.
I had the pitcher stealer, and Ken
had
the
a drunk coach.
The drunk suspended coach.
Okay. The mid football team is actually pretty good, apparently.
Oh, really?
Who knew? We've got those who always like the naked guys, which is just weird. And I don't know. I mean, it looks they want you to say Ray, Ken.
Oh, is it Ray County?
Right, Ray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you don't,
that could be a losing mistake.
Rat's butt.
Rat's butt.
Oh, I mean Rat's Butte.
Butte. Okay. Well, thank you for playing. We'll tally these results. We got to take a break. I'm Cameron Smith. This is the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7. Well, when I look at it, I think maybe Ken won, but he also got disqualified.
Yeah, I mispronounced the
county's
name.
Yeah.
Why did I say Rhea?
Rhea.
Why do I do that? I mean, it's spelled R-H-E-A. I should have known that's Ray County.
Yeah. You should have, but I mean, you got wild. You got disqualified. So I guess I give it to Jackson. I mean,
He had the naked guy.
Nudity wins. I mean, welcome to America in 2025.
How'd you find a naked guy in Nebraska?
They're there. They just are. It's weird. I was actually, y'all are going to love this. I've created a series of quotes, okay? They're either completely fake and made up, or they're real quotes from the U.S. Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. And so, Ken and Jackson, here as we close out this hour, I'm going to read some of these. And y'all got to tell me, and you guys can guess too online, whether they're real or they're fake. Okay?
Oh, I'm gonna be bad at this.
Okay. So I'm going to read these, and you got to tell me real or fake.
All right.
I'm going to try to find one that's very clearly not one you might have heard of, because some of them you should just know. That where a law is not founded upon the consent of the people, and where the makers of the law are not answerable for its ill consequence, the said law is void and without effect.
That is not.
Correct. That is false. But didn't it sound very real?
Sounded very official.
Right.
Well, it does, but I mean, it's like it kind of cancels itself out.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
He's going to get us, Ken.
Okay. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, accept any present emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from the king, prince, or a foreign state.
That's in.
That's in there.
It is. That's the emoluments clause of the Constitution. Let's see. What else do I have here? A nation of laws must ever maintain that the rights of the many shall not be made subject to the transient desires of the few, nor that the fundamental liberties diminished by the tyranny of convenience.
Say that one again.
Yeah.
Okay. A nation of laws must ever maintain that the rights of the many shall not be made subject to the transient desires of the few, nor the fundamental liberties diminished by the tyranny of convenience.
That is not in there.
That's in there.
Jackson got it. That's fake.
Woo!
Son of a biscuity.
Ken, I guessed.
Way to go, Brother Jackson.
Okay.
Have you seen this Fat Bear Week stuff?
Yes. What is it? Chunk 32.
Chunk 32 won.
Oh, I love Fat Bear Week.
It's great, man.
It's so funny.
I'm like, what are you guys?
This guy had a jaw injury.
How did he manage to get that fat? I don't know. Okay, last one. And no new tax or impost shall be levied upon the citizenry unless the expenditure is fixed, certain, and of benefit to the whole, and the necessity thereof clearly and publicly demonstrated.
That is not in there.
Ken?
Now, what's that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
Too late.
We're running out of time.
He can
Ken.
read it again. Read it one more time.
And no new tax or impost shall be levied upon the citizenry unless the expenditure is fixed, certain, and of benefit to the whole, and the necessity thereof clearly and publicly demonstrated.
Yes.
No, that is fake too.
Woo! Good grief.
Well, it just goes to show that if you make things that sound sort of constitution-y, we can fool a lot of people. I'm Cameron Smith.